Hey YouTubers, and welcome back to another Bleach related discussion video in which I'm going to be talking about the big announcement that we're getting from the very last chapter of Bleach, 686 if I'm not mistaken. Not this week in Jump because they're taking a break, but next week in Jump when we get a whole colored chapter for the particular manga. Now obviously they had a page in the last chapter going on about like a huge announcement is going to be made. So what are the 5 specific things that we could be getting, and basically my thoughts and opinions on what those things might be. So before I get into this, I just want to kind of make it clear that I'm going to be going from the things that I don't want to basically the things that I do want most. And I kind of want to make my point about why one thing would be more exciting than the other. But with that being said, let's get right into this list. Now number 5 is really kind of a simple thing. Obviously I think one of the things they could really just kind of screw over fans with is basically just having something be out there that, you know, no one really was particularly caring for or even really wanted. I know merchandise or something like a character book. I've heard other people talk about character books. That would be really cool. You know, more posters, more toys, more any of that. Like that's probably something that they would just kind of throw at us to, like, it's a consolation prize really. It's like, we know you like Bleach, so we're just gonna throw something out there. Even something as minuscule as a new game. I know games can really kind of revitalize anime series. I mean, look at Xenoverse for one. Like that really kind of revitalized Dragon Ball in the United States and in Japan for what it was worth and everything. You know, as much as I would really like a Bleach game, I'm just not really going to see that ever really taking place. And the fourth one is something that I would actually really like as a new fan for Bleach, because I haven't actually taken the time to actually read the character books, but I've had a lot of people, especially JaymesHanson. If you haven't actually seen him or his content, I'm going to link him in the description below because he makes amazing freaking Bleach content. If you like Bleach stuff, guys, go make sure to sub to him and everything. He's always awesome. He always is on point with almost everything that he talks about. But something like a character book for this particular last arc of Bleach or something, and kind of giving us more context exactly what, you know, everyone was thinking or doing at this point. We know it was super rushed, so obviously anything more that they can actually contextualize in that particular kind of concept would actually be really interesting for us to see. So a character book would be something that I would really like to see going forward, but I'm not necessarily sure that's what it's going to be either, and I also don't think that that's what they're going to be like. They wouldn't like make such a big deal about it. So with that being said, I think we got to get to number 3, which is basically, so I know a lot of people will put this first on the list, but I'm going to put it right here, is basically the return of the anime. And I know a lot of people really love the Bleach anime and would really like seeing the last 200 or so chapters kind of animated and put into kind of some kind of perspective and everything. And I think I would really like that too, but honestly, I'm not really sure if that's really something that we really need. I mean, obviously, anime kind of gives kind of a more perception or kind of a context of what we're actually seeing than something like a manga or even a movie or anything. But honestly, I don't know if that really is what we need. It would probably be the best thing for the anime, especially if they don't want to continue the story, as I'll get to later. But I don't know if that's actually what we need to be kind of focusing on going forward. I think the story was kind of rushed. We didn't really get the ending of what we need. So I know a lot of people like the anime, but I don't necessarily think that that is the particular thing that we need to be focusing on when figuring out exactly what we need to do in order to revitalize the series and kind of make it even to add stories further or anything else. I think like if we're going to jump into it, we're going to jump into it and figure out a way to bring them back. Now, if that is kind of one of the things that goes on with these next 2 things I'm going to be talking about, that's fine. But I feel like that isn't the thing that they should be thinking about right away in order to revitalize the entirety of the series. They need to kind of think further. And that kind of gives me into my second opinion, is just like with Battle of Gods and Resurrection of F for the Dragon Ball market and everything, I feel like the best thing they actually could do for Bleach is kind of take this last arc and kind of condense it down to tell it in the manner of 3 or 4 or something movies. And I actually have a really cool opinion about that. So if I can get like a decent amount of likes on this, like say if I can get 100 likes on this, or maybe even a little less, if I just feel like doing this later down the line because I don't necessarily think this is gonna be the announcement, then I'll probably just make a video about what I think, how you can kind of take and condense this amount of work into something that would work in about 3 films that tells a complete whole story to help finish off the anime. I would really like them to take the 1,000-Year Blood War and just basically animate them into about a 3-film narrative, so we can see a very well-paced kind of narrative with all of Kubo's story, and probably even give him the ending that he literally wanted without, like, you know, without wasting time with one fight or another, and kind of cutting up all the boring bits despite everything that might have been said or done in one scene or the other. It can really be done, and I think that that would be something that's really interesting. But the last one I'm going to talk about is something that's been on a lot of people's minds for the last couple of months, and that is a sequel series of the manga. Now, I know a lot of people would think that that's kind of weird. Why wouldn't they just kind of keep going with the manga if they were just going to do some kind of a thing? And there might be one way or not, or something to do that, but honestly, I feel like this is something that would probably benefit the series more than anything. I mean, basically just keep going what works. I know Bleach isn't the most successful manga or anime ever, but it does have a legitimate following that will follow it through and through. So if there's a way that they can make it cheaper for them and to continue doing what they've been doing, and even just kind of throw more money into the whole marketing concept, then just continuing the story would probably be the best thing for them, because they can always bring the anime back. They can always do a movie adaptation or a new game. But if they run out of story, I don't necessarily know what they're going to do after a certain point. People will stop caring, and the manga is the thing that's always pushed most anime series beyond what they could possibly be in anime, because we have so much material being given to us in a contextual story with foreshadowing and everything like Bleach has done for this whole time. I mean, I would just point a lot of people to look at exactly what's happened to Dragon Ball Super over the last couple months. Once it got away from its manga kind of promotional material, people have really stopped caring about the manga. People really stopped caring about the show. I know there's a whole lot of love and anticipation for everything that's coming next on Dragon Ball, but there is definitely a huge group of anime fans who feel like it's not cool to watch Dragon Ball or even do anything like that. I have a video on my channel that I'm also going to link in the description below, in which you can go kind of listen to me and D-Free talk about why anime fans aren't necessarily Dragon Ball fans and vice versa, because I think that as is a really interesting concept, especially for you guys who like Bleach and want to keep following it. So basically what I'm saying is, the one thing I would really like from this particular kind of news outlet or news kind of breaking is, I want a sequel to Bleach. I want this story to keep going week to week to week, or even month to month. I want to see Kubo kind of be able to express the rest of his vision that he wanted to do, the other arcs and everything that he wanted to do, and end his story in a nice particular way. The rush was fine for me because I came in so late, and I know a lot of people had problems with it, but I didn't necessarily find anything wrong with it. I'm just saying that I want Kubo to actually end the story the way he wanted to, and not have to settle for basically the last 5 chapters that he was given. And that was something that I would really like to see. Other than that, a game would be fine, the anime coming back would be fine, a movie adaptation would be fine, but more importantly than everything, I would really like to see the story continue in one way or the other. And I think the manga series kind of coming into a sequel would probably be the best thing for that. So tell me what you think about this in the comment section below. What do you think the news announcement is going to be? You think it's going to be something amazing, or something just kind of like, well, we'll throw you a bone for any Bleach fan that there is, and there's just going to be a little bit more material out there for you to buy, or something like that, or maybe even a new mobile game? If it's a new mobile game, oh my god, I'm gonna be so mad, honestly, because Brave Souls already has a lot of its own problems. So anyway, guys, please don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe, and I hope you'll have a nice day. I hope everyone is excited for the last chapter of Bleach, because I know I am. Anyway, bye.